Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another fantastic episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye Spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society, Delaware's greatest American hero. And whenever he goes to Taco Bell, he asks for a chief burrito because he's made of chicken and beef. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always positive, life is great, repping 592, living in the 718, no cap, straight facts, the worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. And our special guest tonight is a young lady who has incorporated, I don't know, I can't speak for Rob, but two of my personal favorite things, professional wrestling and one of my favorite movies. Man, Natalie Portman, Mila Kunis. Man, sometimes I wish I got into movies. Maybe I would have been able to have a date with them, have some Starbucks or whatever. But she's been able to incorporate both of those things and make a pretty badass career for herself. Everybody, welcome to the show. Coming to us live from Las Vegas, Black Swan, Zoey Sloane.
Woo! Sure. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Honestly, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to, shoot the breeze about wrestling. We know you got to run, so we're going to make it quick. Hopefully we can have you back on later on, but, that's life. So how are you? How's everything going for you?
It's going great. I always like to say that life is giving me this wave, and I'm just trying to ride it for as long as possible. Every day is another blessing, and as long as I'm breathing and walking and taking as much energy and time that I can, I call it a good day.
That's positivity right there. That's definitely a good mindset to go with. I tell you, when we had Lara Frazier on this past, I think it was Sunday, or it may have been a week ago, she was like, yeah, Zoey Sloane, watch out for her. She's going to be big. Black Swan, pro wrestling. I'm like, okay, I got to find this young lady. I got to find out who she is. She sounds hella impressive. And, boom, here we are today. So I got to ask you, like I always ask, pretty much, I guess 99% of our, guests, how did you become a fan of pro wrestling? What was the match you saw, or the pay-per-view that you saw that had you tuning in from there on out?
Ooh, I think one that really stuck with me was the Undertaker versus Mankind. The Hell in the Cell match of '98. That was a really good one. But with wrestling, I saw it every now and then, and I thought it was so cool, and I enjoyed the presentation that each wrestler put on. I'm like, oh, this is super sick. And the opportunity of me training just popped up out of nowhere in my life, and I didn't have a reason to say no. I was like, sure, I'll try it. And during that time, and still currently, I'm with my dance company, and the similarities between dance and contemporary ballet and wrestling, they're so similar that not a lot of people realize. So I was able to pick it up really quickly and get into character, and that's how I created the Black Swan, because of my ballet background. And it just feels so natural, and my itty bitty self being able to throw around 300-pound dudes, I felt great. It was it's such a, because every little girl wants to feel like they're Hercules on top of the world. But with that, it just fell into place, and I couldn't go against it.
That's awesome. Hey, I would never underestimate the powers of a woman, because you say little itty bitty girl, but you got people like Alexa Bliss that's out there beating up people that are like twice her size. I'm like, yeah, I don't underestimate little women. Trust me. I seen something.
Mighty. We got a temper too.
I've seen it personally in my life. I'm like, okay. I seen them like, look, man, look. Just take whatever you want. Just don't kill me or beat me up or whatever. Just, I'm good. I don't want no smoke. So So you rest. So it's safe to say you wrestle in Las Vegas, or you wrestle in Las Vegas and and California as well.
I have gone to California for one of my matches, but I mostly wrestle and train in Las Vegas.
Okay, I think you train with Las Vegas. I don't mean to assume, but is it FSW?
It is not. It is even though we do have shows and matches out there, I train under the Dark Arts Entertainment under Super Beast, the Super Beast with his Super Beast training compound.
That man is swole. I've seen him before. If it's what he's the one with the mask, right? And I
Yeah.
think he had Crystal White is his valet, right?
Mhm.
That man is like a real life Bane. I'm like, jeez.
Yeah, and
What?
he is one scary dude, but he has a lot of information to give because he travels outside the country as well for matches. He's really known in Mexico, so he gets obtain a lot of like lucha moves, and he brings it back to our compound, and he's like, "Hey, this is how it is. When I'm not going to teach you no rinky dink moves. If you're gonna wrestle, we're gonna train, and we're gonna be the best we can possibly can out here." And I adored that completely.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you got to train under him and he's going back and taking. For some reason, when you say he has you guys try new moves, I'm actually imagining you right now. You're facing off against your opponent, and out of nowhere, you do that little toe point that the ballerinas do, and you hit somebody with a roundhouse kicking out, and it'll be like the crowd will be like going crazy and whatnot too when they see that.
I mean, I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but I got a few tricks up my sleeve.
Okay, so you're the Black Swan. So I gotta. So tell me, what does the Black Swan like embody? Like, what would you say if somebody had to ask you describe how the Black Swan is in the ring? Is it like would they say they're cheerful? Black Swan's cheerful, but people, construe it as, construe her as being like kind of depressing, or would you say the Black Swan is an empty being looking for a soul or a tortured soul? Like, how would you describe it?
I'll say the Black Swan, she is the seductive creature of the night. Because originally the Black Swan is a decipher. And coming from the ballet Swan Lake, she is an interpretation of the swan itself, the princess that gets turned into the swan. And she is not necessarily more of like the innocent petite vibe, but she uses seduction and deception in manipulating the prince. And even a black swan, the bird, is a symbolized thing of new beginnings or new ends, just anything of transformation. So I use that as I want the people to be awed and a little bit curious when they see me. Not necessarily because I'm in all black. I have the gear and everything, and she looks a little intimidating because you don't know if she's gonna curse you out or blow you a kiss. I like that like guessing game of like, I could be mean, but I could be gentle. You don't know. You have to see. Everything's a mystery.
Or you could be both. I mean, add a little twist to it.
Mhm.
So so now that you're actually in professional wrestling and you've had your debut match and everything, who are I just have like two more questions before I pass over to Rob, because like I said, we're trying, we know you got to run and whatnot. I don't mean to put like put business out on the street, but I mean, we know you're a busy person and whatnot. So my second to last question is, um, who are like your top five that you'd want to wrestle in the near future? They could be from anywhere, the Indies, AEW, WB, Impact, anywhere in the world. Who would you want to wrestle in? Who are your top five you want to wrestle in the near future?
Ooh. I do have Sasha Banks on my list. I think that's a given for anyone to have her because the way that she moves, I would love to just wrap myself around her like a pretzel and call it a day. That is a really good question. I never really thought of who I desire entirely of who to wrestle, because whatever lays on the table, if I am able to match to wrestle one of the best, then I'm not going to be picky about it. I would rather let the chips fall where they may. Even though I did give you one name, because Sasha Banks, because she was definitely one that I watched the majority of, and I like her style as well. But if not to be in my own personal bubble, but if I could ever get thrown around by the super beast, I would. I
Okay.
think because he's my coach and he's shown me a few ways, I think definitely having a match of if the pupil can overthrow the master, I think that would be a really beautiful moment in my life, that I could say, like, I either failed to go against them, or I I grew my wings and I flew right over and I took him to hell with me in a way. But for top five, yeah, I would not be able to tell you. I rather have life take me on its own path without me trying to force anything.
Awesome. That's cool. That's cool. So, last question. You're the for the first, to my knowledge, you are the Rob, correct me if I'm wrong, 'cause I'm getting old and I tend to forget stuff. But you're our first guest who is a ballerina and also a professional wrestler. If let's say if somebody else from your dance company or somebody else, another female or a male, wanted to get into professional wrestling and do the same thing you're doing, what advice or heads up would you give them before they join?
I would say, I would tell them that if they're in it, then you have to be in it. There is no, sticking your toes in the water just for a little bit, because even because with if it is someone from my dance company or anyone I know with dance background, then I'll be like, oh, you'll get it easy. It's just like learning a combination. It's a 10 to 20-minute combination possibly, and you have to make it right at the stop, and you have to have that presentation performance aspect behind it. So it's very easy to catch on, but it's something that is worth your time, I guess. And expressing that you can be both a dancer and a professional wrestler. The looks that you would get are always fun and amusing at times, but for advice, yeah, I'm like, if you're in it, you gotta go all the way, because with wrestling, you can't half a slam, because then that's how people would really get injured, and there goes your career and your reputation, and also their reputation as well. You can't, like, you have to commit to your character. You have to commit of, like, I'm about to take this person down and nobody's going to stop me. And that's the 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 entertainment aspect of it, because you have all these people anywhere watching you, because they want to see this big collection of adrenaline and slams and things that you technically can't really do outside. So if just watching it, you get enchanted by it. And with anyone who is trying to go on and become a professional wrestler, I say do it, because no one is telling you otherwise. You're the only one that is stopping you. So if you want to do it, reach for the stars. And if you touch the stars, go outside the universe, because there's only bigger things out there than here.
Awesome. So for those of you that are in ballet and want to do wrestling as well, you just got some advice from one of your own as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Rob at this time. Rob, the floor is yours. Take it away.
All right, sweet. Thanks, Remy. So what's going on? How you doing today, Zoe?
I'm doing dandy. Dandy as a dandelion. Can't
Well,
complain.
that's good. That's good. How was your day? You do anything wild? Anything crazy happen? Just a normal day?
I actually had rehearsal today.
Oh,
Yeah, we just had our concert this past weekend, and we had a week off. So now we're returning and we're getting ready for our Christmas show in December.
Ooh, okay. Is it the Nutcracker or is it Black Swan? Swan Lake? Is it Swan Lake?
It's a little bit of everything. It's not. It's
Oh,
just a
okay.
collective of what we do. We did joke about having like this little comical nutcracker going on, but I think that will be for the next season.
There you go. There you go. Now I do gotta ask, how much do you charge people, to teach them how to dance? Because I would love to know how to dance, So if I go to a friend's wedding, and I bust out there, and they're like, "Oh man," because all I can do is the Tootsie Roll and chicken dance. You know what I mean? So that's about it. So.
Hey, if you can do the Tootsie Roll, that's better than most. I always like to
There
say
you
that
go.
everyone can dance. It's just some people are better than others. If you could do that step touch, side to side, that's sometimes all you need. Because
Yeah, there you go.
okay. Because with dance, no matter what you're doing, as long as you're enjoying yourself and how you feel with the music, that should be more than enough. Even if you do the sprinkler,
Oh yeah. Or mowing the lawn.
right.
Starting no, the lawnmower. Starting the mower. Starting the mower.
Exactly. But yeah, with that, as long if you can find the beat, you're good.
That's right.
That's all you need.
That's right. Yeah. Don't listen to the words. Listen to the beat. You'll be all right.
Mhm.
Now I do gotta ask, you had a match and stuff with somebody, I've met, and she choked me out with a kendo stick because I said something about Stephen King. Mother Endless. How did that match come about? You wrestling her, because she choked me out with the kendo stick. I think I was reffing or ringing out. I can't one of them. She overheard me saying, something about Stephen King, and she didn't appreciate it. Choked me out, so. How did that come about with y'all? I bet that was awesome. Just everybody was like, oh, oh.
Yeah, it oh man, it was absolutely amazing. And fun fact, that was my first female wrestler for one of
Mm,
my shows because I've only been training for a little over 6 months.
okay.
So and she was my first female match, and I had a great time. I thought I could have gotten her, but she power slammed me at the end. I knew it. She is strong. I said, oh
Yes,
no.
yes.
But with her, I learned so much from her already, and I got more comfortable with being in the ring with more people and having this presentation of like I'm gonna get you.
Hmm.
And with her, she when we were talking outside the match as well, she is just such a sweetheart, and I adore her soul with every aspect. But then once we got in the ring, she just transformed. I'm like, okay, two can play that game. So it was really fun, and I bet it was even more exciting for the audience to see, two mythical creatures of darkness, because we have Mother Endless and we have the
Hmm.
Black Swan, and they both come from like the dark, like I said. So seeing the who can outdark the other person
Yeah.
and lack of other words was pretty cool. And she got me good. She gave me a few of her forearms. She ragdolled me. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Hey, well, look, you got her for the rematch. Whenever that comes about.
Oh,
Get her one for me. Get her
100%.
one. Hit her with a kendo stick for me. I mean, she about to take me out. You know what I mean?
You know
I
what?
couldn't even
I'll
make
do
the
the
three
kennel
count.
stick for Remy. I'll go on my tippy toes and give her a roundhouse kick.
Yeah. What's it called? A pirouette? A pirouette? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
There you go. There you go.
she know
Pirouette
her
right in the
ballet
face.
terms. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, I had to take ballet, because I had to make fun of the kid down the street. You know what I mean? Because he was a dancer, so I had to make fun. I'm just
There you
joking.
go. Science.
So I do got, just a couple more questions before I let you go. When is your next show? You have one coming up?
Yeah, the next concert will be in December. It'll be December 14th, 15th, I believe. Wait, you say dance show or for wrestling matches?
Oh, yeah, either or. You can plug
I'm
either or, wrestling and you can do both. We good
like,
to
I
go. Yeah, do whatever you want. This is your
got
time.
So yeah, I have my next dance concert in December. For matches, I'm gonna be doing a triple match for Best of the West in Fresno at the end of this month. And then I have two more in November in Vegas. One will be a fundraiser, and then another one will be under Dark Arts Entertainment. So I got a couple before the end of the year lining up.
That's right. He's staying busy and stuff. I did see you train with Otto Von Clutch and stuff. We've had him on the show. He's awesome. I love him, man.
Uh,
Totally awesome, dude. That's radical, man.
so Von Clutch.
That's right. Yeah, he's awesome, man. We love him. We love him. Now, before I pass it on to Remy, I do want to ask one more question. I'm always trying to find, new movies and TV shows to watch, because I always, get stuck, that comfort shows, watch the same thing over and over again. So, there, anything new you're watching, any new movies, TV shows, you're into, any of that good stuff?
Ooh. I will say I just finished Jeffrey Dahmer, that series.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because it intrigued, because it got super popular, and I already watched all the 10 Bundy, and I'm not trying to be that stereotypical girl that watches all the crime
Forensic
shows
Files, yeah.
about everything. But knowing that was real, and what happened to all those beautiful souls, I was a little upset, but it fascinated me because of how someone's brain can just be tweaked ever so slightly, and it can make them a difference from a banker and a serial killer. It's just that one little tweak. Also on Netflix, I just finished Cyberpunk, which is an anime.
Yeah, that's on my list. My brother told me, definitely watch it. That's on my
It's
list.
good. I liked it. I'm definitely.
Yeah, now the Jeffrey Dahmer one, I was like, I'm not gonna pass on it because I was alive when it happened and all. And the one thing I remember that I was like, I can't go through it again, listen to that story again, was when the one guy escaped and got to the neighbors, and then the cops came and he convinced the cops, oh no, that was my boyfriend, he's just too drunk, he's 19, he's like 14, 15. And they're like, all right, yeah, just go back with him. And he ended up, taking him. I was like, oh man, I remember hearing that. It was like, I can't. That was.
It's crazy, but it's a beautiful spark of reality of what's always been what's being hush hush. Because there's a lot that goes on, but no one says it until it's either too late or farther down the road, or when something else happens.
Yeah. But I don't hate, because I do watch this show. See, I watch Forensic Files and First 48 and all that stuff. So hey. The only thing I won't watch Law and Order SVU. I can't deal with that type of content. That it turns my stomach. I can't. So other than that,
You good?
So oh no, go ahead.
You just need a trash can right beside you. You'll be fine.
There you go. Yeah, get a little paper bag. So before I pass on back to Remy, I do want to say, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come to chat with us. I had a blast chatting with you and stuff and all, and I wish you nothing but luck in your next shows, your dance classes and all. I hope you kill it in everything you do, and I hope you achieve all your goals that you go for in life and all that good stuff.
Thank you.
Zoe, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to shoot the breeze about your pro wrestling career with us. We really and truly do appreciate it. Hopefully we can have you back on for a round 2. But before we shut down this show, where can fans find you on social media when they appearances or purchase Black Swan merchandise? And where can book orders find you when they want to book you for their shows?
Yeah, of course. So with merchandise to be announced, I'm still trying to get a beautiful logo. But for Instagram, you can follow me at Little Miss Z with underscores in the middle and 3 S's in Miss. That's where I post all about my dance performances and also my wrestling matches. I will be putting up an own personal account for the Black Swan to be presented. And also, because she's getting popular, I'm going to be getting Twitch and Facebook, so it'll be all under the name The Black Swan with dots in between.
Awesome. So y'all heard she's on social media. Definitely go ahead and give her a follow. Whenever that merch comes out, make sure y'all cop it. That way, when the Black Swan flies over to WWE or flies over to AEW, and somebody says, "Hey, I got the new Zoey Sloane merchandise," you can be like, "Man, sit yourself down, man. I got the Zoey Sloane merchandise from when before she got signed. I'm a real fan." Yeah, it's always a good feeling It's always a good feeling to support somebody, when they're just starting, and then you see them rise to the top and do their thing. So, support indie wrestling. It's a great feeling. Um, about that logo, if you don't have a logo person yet, I know some people I can actually recommend to you personally. I know one person that does great work. I got to hit her up too as well. So, if you're ever interested, just let us know, and we'll definitely refer you to them as well. But with that being said, once again, thank you. We're very grateful. And it's about that time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner and a nap. Maybe not in that order, but before I indulge in those activities, Rob Bass, the Tommy to my Ghost, the Eminem to my Royce the 5'9", and the Sean Spence to my Burton Guster. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, find out where your next appearances, purchase Rob Bass merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
All right, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Rob_Bass82, and Facebook, Rob Bass. And November 12th, 1CW, CCW, we got a show going on. The only match I know that's going on is Miles Millennium's defending the 1CW Wrestling Championship against Ty Awesome. So that's the only one I know so far. So stay tuned, whatever, and I'll let some more matches know.
Oh, man. Two of our alumni facing off against each other in the main event. The suspense.
They're probably going to make me ref that one, too. Oh, and I got called in.
And if you want to find... if you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything cool to say, but who knows, maybe you'll get lucky and hear me say something cool. You can find me on Twitter at the Remy Blue. You can also find me on Instagram at the Remy Blue as well, and also on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue. Our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019, Instagram and Twitter at Ringside Society. We're also on Facebook as a Facebook group. Just type in Ringside Society and you'll find us. We're on Spotify, and we're also on Pro Wrestling Tees, where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have T-shirts, tank tops, long sleeve shirts, hoodies. We even have coffee mugs, and also we just started selling pillows as well. So got a lot of cool stuff there. Check us out. We actually have our new design called Stripe Lives Matter, which is dedicated to the referees of professional wrestling, like our good friend here, Rob Bass. So make sure you check that out, copy it. It might piss some of y'all off, but hey, it is what it is. You can't please everybody. But definitely support us. All proceeds go back into keeping our show afloat. The proceeds do not go back into our pockets. Trust me. I'm still eating hamburger helper, and Rob's still eating Kool-Aid sandwiches. So trust me, we're not eating off y'all money. But we just want to thank everybody tuning in. Oh, I always forget this one. We're also on YouTube, where we have a lot of cool interviews like this one, like the one we had with Lara Frazier, and also the one we had with Cliff Hendricks and Surza and many other people over in the West Side. So definitely go ahead and check us out. All you gotta do is type in Ringside Society, and once you see that sweet OMG dark blue and light blue yin yang sign with the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos, because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Don't want to miss a thing, like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. We really and truly appreciate it. We try our best to be one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan should listen to. To those y'all that are going to listen to us later on when you get a chance, thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away, well, like myself at the Golden Corral and Rob Bass at a taco festival, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
We ain't stopping. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody. We just want to let everybody know that we're very well aware of everybody and their grandparents and their parents of a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag we are not the same. Hey, yo, Rob Bass. One time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for the West Coast wrestling scene, and one time for the Black Swan, Zoey Sloane.
Woo!
That's such an exit. Woohoo!
What type of podcast?
I'm for work now. I'm ready.
That's right. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, and we'll be back with another impressive episode with another impressive guest. But until then, we just want y'all to do 4 favors for us. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware. Bye.